call this meeting to order at 3:10 in the afternoon. Madam Speaker, can you do a ring, please?
Our Heavenly Father, please watch over this meeting today and help us make the correct decisions for the people of Cherokee Nation. Amen.
Dick Light.
Here.
Frankie Hargis. Present. Bill Anglin. Jack Baker. Joe Bird.
On it.
Julia Coates. Here. Jody Fishenkamp. Meredith Fraley.
Here.
Janelle Fulbright. Tom Garvin. Chuck Costin Jr.
Here.
Anna Corey Jordan.
Present.
Lee Keener.
Mahomie.
Curtis Snell.
Here.
David Thornton. David Walkenstick. Tara Callan Watts.
Thank you. Chair will accept the motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passed. Reports. Marcia Lane.
Good afternoon and Merry Christmas, guys. I've got a couple of handouts, but I'm going to hand them out towards the last because y'all be looking at there and not paying any attention to what I'm saying. I'm going to report on the angel tree. We want to thank the Angel Tree Committee. We want to thank each and every one of you guys from the council for helping 34 angels this year have a happier Christmas. We also want to thank Taro for their generous donation this year to the Angel Tree, and that's really going to help us because we've already had over 2,000 applicants on the Angel Tree. We also want to announce that if you don't already know that there's going to be a concert December the 14th at the Joint at the Hard Rock. Casey and the Sunshine Band will be performing a benefit for the Angel Tree, and if you bring a new unwrapped toy valued at $10 or more, you can get in free for this concert. On our light heap, that's part of my handout, so I'll take that to you now. I have broken down how many light heap participants we have, and also on the Coke voucher. And those numbers will be in that folder. If you have any specific questions on that, or just let me know. There was a question brought up to me by one of the council members, and I'll just share it with all of you. They wanted to know the status of the elder advocate positions that you guys gave us the money for. Today, we have hired two of those positions, one in District 1 and one in District 3. We are on our second interview panel for the rest, and we'll be interviewing for, we will interview next week for the Catoosa one. We'll have a panel for that, and as soon as we get a panel for Jay and No Water, we will do that. Are there any questions?
Marcia, you say you have 2,000 applicants for the Angel Tree. How are we doing on money?
Well, we have donations come in all through the year, and I've actually sent out an email on that. All the angel names have been taken up, and what they'll do, or what they've done in the past, is they will take those donations, and if someone has actually bought something added, we make sure that everyone has at least one present. And I know, like myself, towards the end, I'll just give them money to help, do that.
So you think you'll be able to slide by this year, because that's $200,000 if you get $100 per child.
Yeah, I hope so. We never know until we take up the angels, and that was done today, and then we look and see how many people actually were left out there, and then what the donations are. And they'll go out and if they have the money, they'll do a mass buying for the rest of them if they can.
We do have our executive and finance tomorrow. If you could get a closer handle on your needs.
Sure.
Hopefully it's all taken care of like you believe, but you might double check tonight because that will be the last meeting before Christmas.
Right.
And we would need, the only way we could do it would probably be through community assistance donations.
And when will you need this?
That would, huh?
When will you need this?
If we had it in the morning and if we knew you were in trouble, we wouldn't be able to do anything on the budget, but some of us might be able to do something through some of our community assistance money.
I'll let you know one way or the other.
I hope you're correct that you've got it all figured out. I know there's been years, though, that it's been, and I think this body wants to see everybody get a gift that has applied for the angel tree.
Right.
Because it's certainly under the qualifications, it's going to be a family in need or they would not have applied.
Yeah.
I think, what time is our executive finance tomorrow?
8:30.
8:30? Well, okay, maybe 8:30?
I'll tell them to get me a count tonight for sure.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions? Sure.
I personally put down an angel and got stuck. Is that something you can take for me from here, or do I need to deliver? Where do I need to deliver it?
I can have someone pick it up. Actually, they're going to be over what Calico Coast old Safeway building, but it's where CNI used to be downtown. But I can make sure it gets there. I don't know if they're actually there working yet, so that's why I'm hesitant to tell you take it down there.
Don't leave too fast, because I have to get out of the car.
Okay.
Thank you.
Marcia, I have 3 or 4 college students that are wanting to volunteer hours during when you wrap or shop or whatever, for those that you have left. Do you have a time frame on that or an open next week?
No, Brandon, if you will have them contact Brandy Limley, she's the coordinator over the Angel Tree. She can tell you exactly when they're going to be, but I'll tell her to give you that notice because I really don't know.
Marcia, go ahead.
Marcia, I wanted to ask, because this is just gossip that I've heard, I haven't actually seen it, but I understand that there's a form that people fill out in Human Services for assistance of various kinds, and that on this new form there is something that anybody who signs this allows their contact information to be released to administration. Is that correct?
It shouldn't be. I don't
So
know
you
of
don't know of any
anything. No, I
form
sure don't.
like that? Okay, then that's just gossip and rumor. I just wanted to check that
I'll
out.
be sure and check on it.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, there's a confidentiality for agencies and whatever
Right,
else,
I
but
understand that, but this was just for general services, was my understanding, so that there was some kind of a new form and that information was being released to administration with the
Not
permission
that I
of the
know of.
signer. So, okay, thanks.
Marcia, the Angel Tree program, your office runs at 14 County Line.
yes.
Guess that's good. Thank you. Community Services.
Good afternoon. My name's Chris Sams. For those of you who don't know me, I'm standing in for Director Qualls today and would be happy to answer any questions you might have.
I may not know it right at hand, but you followed with me on that kind of tricky Nowata water line issue where there's all that.
Yes, Councilor Hoskin, we're actually on the agenda for the January meeting in Nowata. I think we've got the Department of Environmental Quality and the town of Nowata all on the same page now. So we're going to have the memorandum of understanding signed at the January meeting for the town of Nowata to take possession of that line once we construct it.
Could you do me a favor? There's one particular constituent that's really concerned about it, and we talked offline about who that is. I can send you an email. Would you mind reaching out to him and letting him know where we
Sure.
are? If it's been a while, because I know it's a topic of priority.
Sure.
And I appreciate your work on it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, I've talked to some constituents out in districts, and kind of going over that emergency forms that they have to fill out. And I want to know about who all gets to fill those out for emergency.
And this is concerning the water and sanitation program, or
Not
which?
concerning the rehab, it's on,
Oh,
hot water heaters, conditioning, just different things that we would consider an emergency
mhm.
for our people.
I will have to find that out and
Okay.
get back with you on that.
I've been told that it's elder, handicap. And I think that's it. It's the only ones that can apply for that. And they have to fill out a very large form, several pages
Mhm.
for that. When we brought that program up to par, the council put a program in there where they had to fill out one sheet to get that emergency. And sometimes they can't get what they need that quick.
Right.
And when you go asking for everything that's asked for, and how that has been changed around over this last year, we need to look at that. You need to look at it real strong and shorten it down. And to provide a copy of the property and the deed and, you know, stuff like that. They may not even live, they may be renting or leasing.
Right.
And so, you know, there's different things on there that really need to look at and change, because it's been changed back. It's been changed. We need to change it back to where it's easier for those people to get that emergency funding and get it quick. That's what we're there for.
I will find out about that and respond back, and
Okay, I appreciate it.
No problem.
Because it's something that needs to be looked at.
Get some clarification.
Oh, I just wanted to express my appreciation to Councilman Thornton. I kind of always thought this application ought to be kind of re-scrutinized anew to make sure we've got justification for needing this information. If we already have an applicant who's already provided this information, can we just go get it rather than burdening an elder with?
Right.
If they could just kind of take just a top-down review of these forms, I think that would be great. Thank you, Councilman.
You have some clarification?
Well, no, I just want to put on.
Okay, Julia?
Okay. My questions are about the at-large programs, and because in the report, there's a sentence that CATA is no longer providing support for at-large community program. However, technical assistance will be provided to at-large community leaders when they request such assistance. So I've got several questions about that, and I know you've got several staff from CATA here that may be able to answer some of the questions a little bit more. But so if the at-large programs are not under CATA any longer, my understanding is that they are a standalone program right now. Is that correct?
I would have to defer to some of the staff at CATA on that.
Hi, I'm Tammy Miller. The budget has been separated, and it is now under Donnie Mackey.
Okay.
So any questions would probably have to be deferred to her or Ron.
Okay. I guess my concern is, and maybe you can pass this on to Ron, is that if we can continue to get a monthly report from this program now that it is separated out from CATA, because it used to always be included within the CATA report. And my concern is that from here on in, we're not going to be getting any report. And so I would like to request that program now begin to report on a monthly basis, independent of CATA, so that we can continue to know what they're doing, what's going on here. My questions, because I think the technical assistance that was being provided to the at-large community organizations was incredibly valuable. And if it's not separate, if it's separated out from CATA, at this point. And my sense of things is very strongly that there's going to be almost an exclusive cultural emphasis, as it's newly envisioned. But I'm getting questions already from the groups because they do not understand that they've been separated out from CATA, and they want technical assistance and they need technical assistance. And while I understand that, okay, they can come to request it, is there any way that we can still continue to have something more of a little bit more systematic ability for them to receive technical assistance of some sort? And I don't know quite how that's done, because I don't think that the people that are presently being hired, as I said, they're all described as cultural specialists. I don't know that any of them really have much of this type of expertise. And I think that's something that's really, really critical for the at-large groups as they're launching, as they're trying to develop, and so forth. And I'm really sorry to see, that there's something of a distance here that seems to be emerging between the at-large organizations and the opportunity to gain technical assistance and training. So I just want to express that, and then that leads to the CATA conference, because there was and I presume maybe planning is beginning to already be underway.
Yes.
For that for next year, and this is a move we've been making for 2 years now, as you know, to include the at-large people, but it's not clear to me any longer whether that's going to continue or not. Can you give me any insight about that?
We have started the plans for the CATA conference. At this point, all I can say is that I will try to meet with Donnie and talk to her and see what her plans are. Of course, CATA is always happy to continue to do what we're asked to do as far as technical assistance. So I will try to meet with her as soon as possible and talk to her about it.
Okay, the presumption then would be, though, that that's going to come out of any involvement on the part of at-large community leadership would have to come out of her budget rather than
Yes, that
CATA's
is correct.
at this point.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and I guess, again, I just want to emphasize that I would really, really hope that in some way, rather than the groups having to come to you to request, that there could continue to be some kind of outreach or offering, whether it's from you, whether it's from the new program or whatever, but I will just convey that to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'm running into somebody else's meeting time. I wonder if I could have 3 minutes from now on. Carrie, you next.
I forgot, is it under this report, or is it, somebody else's about the, water line and sewage, or sewer? So we had a new report, I was trying to remember, somehow it didn't get in my bag. And we have given up IHS, like, financial eligibility requirements, so we're gonna do, like, septic for millionaire homes, or what are we gonna do now?
Well, as I understand the Indian Health Service policy, if there's a tribal member living in the home, it's a tribal home. So we've had some discussions with Indian Health Service on their feelings toward the income guidelines, and they've indicated to us that they don't have any.
Okay.
So with the Indian Health Service
Does that mean
funds.
that we're precluded from putting income guidelines on it? Because I've had several complaints that folks that really need it and are financially strapped can't get it, but then people with mansions have received free septic from the tribe.
Well, it all really depends on, how, if all the requirements are being fulfilled, the applications are being turned in on time, easement issues, things like that. Each case, of course, is different, but we try to serve everybody as expediently as we can.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Jody?
Oh, I was going to follow up what David talked about. Can you check, because during last term, I know we went through here and they were supposed to shorten the forms. And can you see what happened to that, please?
Okay.
I was back to way back in the conversation, I think, which is emergency assistance that Mr. Thornton brought up. When an elderly client calls in for emergency assistance, say their hot water heater has gone out, and they don't really have the ability to get to town, will you all take that application out to them and help them fill it out?
We can, yes. Yes, we have, within the water and sanitation program, I know that we have an infrastructure coordinator who that's one of his specific tasks, is when we have an elder or someone who's disabled, that they can take that application out. And the gentleman we have is a Cherokee speaker, and he can help with that.
Well, 77 qualifies you, right? Age 77, will that qualify you for elderly? It will, won't it?
I believe so.
Okay. I need to see you afterwards.
Yeah.
If you we have a program in family assistance that can help the elderly too, especially if it's a repair. Now, we refer over here, but, they can come to our department too.
I'll probably need to talk to both of you then
Yeah.
offline.
Elderly.
Yes.
Don?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to tell Chris, thank you for helping us out on our Fort Gibson water line situation, and appreciate your effort. And if you had a chance to tell Billy to get well quick, 'cause we miss him, and hope he has a Merry Christmas.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chris, thank you for filling in, doing a good job. Mine was on the same lines as the application. On those emergency requirements there, he goes into stocks and bonds and markets, and where I'm from, where I was raised, you get into that 401 and stocks and bonds, and it's not going to work.
Right.
We'll still have emergency.
Yeah.
But just something to look at. I know you're filling in for someone today, but that if we could just narrow this application down, it'd go a long ways.
Okay. We'll certainly
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
work on it.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Housing, Gary?
Good afternoon. I know y'all are running late, so I'll be happy to answer any questions that anyone has.
Steve?
Hey Gary, is there a program in place for like the heating and air, or the like the maintenance heating and air system?
For, do they make payments to the housing authority on their houses, or is it privately owned house?
House is paid off. It's any home
Yeah.
that's paid off.
Housing rehab through community services.
Housing rehab.
Mhm. Yeah, and if you'll give me their information, I'll get it to the right people.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And also electricity as well. So you
Yeah.
have like a faulty switch or something.
Yeah, what they usually do is they go out and check, kind of do a once-over of the house, kind of see what all needs to be done and kind of prioritize, and then we'll see what all they can do. But it's actually through Ron Paul's and Community Services, but the housing rehab program.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
But give me their information and I'll get it to the right folks.
Lee?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to thank you for acting so quickly on the tribal elder, checking on her.
And that's what we're there for. Anytime y'all have a request, just let us know and we'll try to get to the bottom of it.
Thank you. Thank you,
And
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Keener, also I wanted to mention to all three of y'all that if y'all know of any individuals who needs a place to live, I think I have a few vacancies up at Will Rogers. Yeah, and I think it's 60 and over. I think it's the limit. But if y'all happen to know of someone, let me know.
If they're not scared to live there.
You say that, not me.
Curtis?
Yes, Gary, I'm with the lady over at Leach. Did you ever check on that property? Remember, roof?
Get with me afterwards, because you have to refresh my memory. But I don't.
Okay, I'll get you.
Yeah, because I don't remember her name.
David?
Gary, you and I was talking before this about the time that it takes to bring in electric, water, and sewer to our people. And if this council looked into maybe getting you a credit card to pay those off, where it wouldn't take so long to do all that building and return to the building and all that, which I know it takes a long time to
Yeah.
get all that set and put in stone. I can't understand why you couldn't do that, why you couldn't go ahead and take care of that.
It depends. Well, if it was as easy as that, it would be pretty simple. But a lot of times it's, and Mr. Sims could probably tell you better than I can about how many water districts there are out there in different ways, and about every one of them has a different way that they do business. Every rural electric company has a different way that they do business. And there are some places that we get to, I mean, you know, they won't put in the water line until there's a septic system in, or they won't hook up the electric till the septic system's in, or whatever the case is, or they won't hook up the water, or run the water, or set a water meter until you have the house built. It's a lot of times it just turns in to be a mess, especially, you know, in situations like the one we had spoke about, where we need to work on getting services fairly quickly.
But also, I think most of that is due to whether they're going to get paid or not. I think if they're paid up front, it'd be good.
Yeah, and some will.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think.
And some,
my area.
and some we have a good relationship with that, I mean, we can call them up and, I mean, they'll be out there the next day. Now, there's other ones who, and just like the one electric company down there, you know, they would not do anything until they got the check, but then they wanted the application filled out, but they wouldn't take the application handwritten, it had to be filled out online. It's just little quirks that every one of them has.
Didn't have to be filled out. You know, in fact,
Yeah.
we can help that.
Yeah.
Out in this district.
But now I do remember that was one of the deals is there was a copy of the application with the check, but they wouldn't take it that way. They had to have it filled out online. So it's just, sometimes it's just like beating your head against the wall in some of those cases. But yeah, I mean, there's, and a lot of it may be, you know, sometimes if we could just call y'all up and maybe y'all know someone. Because a lot of them are very easy to deal with, and a lot of them work really easy with us, but there's some that are just a little bit more difficult to deal with.
Well, they've made a lot of money with the Cherokee Nation.
Yes, they have.
It's time to start hitting them.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100%.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Oh, roads, transportation.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Barry Hood. Michael's out on travel this week, so I'm standing in for him. You have a copy of the report. One thing I would like to add is the Lee Creek Bridge in Sequoia County is completed and open.
Thank you.
We held a final inspection on that a week or so back, and turned out to be a good project. Other than that, I think everything else is in the report. Any questions?
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I don't think it's in the report, but could you check on the status of Ashland Street project in Benita? I just want to see when the notice to proceed is going to go out.
I done a rating on that last Thursday or Friday.
What does that mean in terms of the next step?
Then it goes, the monies will be approved, and it'll be, a notice to proceed will be issued soon.
Week or so?
Yeah, it approved through the rating system, so probably a week or so.
Very good, thanks. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anyone else?
I just want to say thank you for the great job for the Bradley Ford Bridge and the $850,000 from the Cherokee Nation and the joint effort with the county that supplied the engineering. And the bridge is beautiful. It looks great, and we're really proud of it. And the people that live over there are even more proud than anyone.
I know it was a big inconvenience for the community there, and that was fast tracked, and it come along pretty quick.
Really
Turned out very well.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Commerce.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
You have a copy of my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Just the usual great job, huh? Thanks very much.
Old business, none pending, new business, none pending. Any announcements? All in favor? Motion. All in favor to adjourn?
Aye.
Ayes have it.
5 minutes and we'll get it.